Karan is a wonderful guy, the guy behind the camera. His movie is great. Sheher or Sheher Ya Tum. Yeah, it's City or You. Yeah. And I generally tell him that it's a cute movie, and he thinks that I'm saying it like sarcastically or something. No, I really mean it. It's like a nice, very feel good romantic movie, and that's how Karan is also. He's like a very nice boy kid. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Karan, a filmmaker based in Bombay. Over the last 5 years, I worked with quite a few stand-up artists on a bunch of projects. It was during this time I realized that there's a lot more to these artists than just the jokes we know them for. And that's exactly what I'm trying to bring across. The other side.
Yeah, this is how the posh in Kolkata looks like. But it is one of the most happening places in Kolkata. This is near Kala Mandir, which is like Kolkata's best auditorium. And so we had a show there at Kala Kunj, which is another auditorium, smaller auditorium under Kala Mandir. So we're here for a festival. There's a Calcutta Comedy Festival happening. I'm a huge MMA fan. I know I don't have the looks of being an MMA fanatic, but I am, because I had a karate background long time ago. So I watch a lot of mixed martial arts, UFC, and most of the time goes there, honestly. And I love it for another reason, because in MMA, there's this thing that fighters do, which is trash talk. Okay, like before the fight happens, they talk shit to each other to get into each other's head, and a lot of the fights are just one in the head. Okay, and that's very entertaining. So that's almost like a comedy roast happening. So I'm very fascinated by all that, and I like sometimes I'm in awe of them that these guys are not comics, and still they come up with such great lines and such insulting lines to each other. Like, I'll give you an example. There was a big fight that happened between a fighter called Conor McGregor, the biggest mixed martial artist, and then there was another guy called Nate Diaz. Now they were at a news thing going on, and they were both in the panel, and the journalist asked Nate Diaz, how much will you rate Conor McGregor as a fighter on a scale of 1 to 10? And Conor McGregor instantly replied, Nate can only count till 5. So like shit like that, they're beautiful. So I watch a lot of mixed martial arts, and I love to watch movies. I wouldn't say that like I'm like a huge connoisseur of movies, but I like watching a lot of good movies. I should have seen this movie a long time ago. It's like not really a niche movie, niche movie. It's like a lot of people must have seen is Apocalypse Now. You've seen that? Oh, it's a beautiful movie. So it's by Francis Ford Coppola, who made Godfather. But I think Godfather is nothing compared to Apocalypse Now. It's about it's a war movie where one American soldier is sent to kill another American soldier in Vietnam, because that soldier has become a rebel, and he's raising his own army, and they don't know what to do, so he's gone bonkers. So this soldier has to kill that soldier, but it's not just about that. It's action. It's not an action movie. I think it's a very philosophical movie, and I can't understand how is that movie even possible in terms of scale today. And to think of it that they did it in 1970s or something is just remarkable. It's a remarkable movie, but you hardly get that movie anywhere, so you have to torrent it or something. It's a beautiful movie. See, I'm very ashamed to say that I'm a comic and I'm also a writer, but I don't really read much books. I just doesn't somehow. But what I do is that I read. I'm again very ashamed to say mention this, that I read some self-help books every now and then, because as a comic I'm always panicking, and so some of the self-help books I don't think they deserve as much criticism as they should. I read one self-help book which I still remember is called Elephant and the Twig. It was a beautiful self-help book because I just love the name that drew me towards it. So what that guy is saying is that how they raise elephants in India is when the elephant is young, they tie the young elephant to a big tree, like a banyan tree or something. So the young elephant is not that strong, so he tries to get away from the tree, but he's just not able to, right? Doesn't have the strength. So what that does is that that elephant is conditioned that that elephant cannot break away from the tree. So now when that elephant is full grown, like an adult elephant, then even if you tie that elephant with a twig, meaning a stem, even then the elephant will not even try to get away because he's just conditioned that he cannot break away. So this is what the book says, that the same phenomena happens with us. We as people, what we learn that we can't do when we were young, when we did not have as much wisdom, that condition stays in your mind. So when you grow, even then you don't do it. Even if you can. So that's what the book says, that break away from the twig. So I thought that was very beautifully put. It's in a very exciting place, no doubt. People can become overnight stars when they go online, and that's great. That expands the market. Although I just feel bad that there are not enough clubs, and even if there are clubs get shut. It seems like the club model doesn't work anymore, at least from the ones that we saw, which is sad because comedy clubs are generally the best places to do comedy, because everything is just perfectly set up and people they just come for the comedy, and like that whole culture of of people just coming to watch comedy has kind of not built right now in India. Or maybe we had it a little bit with Canvas, but it's again gone, that people will just come to comedy club regardless of who's performing. So they're not coming for the stars only. So they'll just come to watch good comedy, and the clubs will deliver. And maybe it's because of the YouTube culture. That could also be that people become stars, so you will just go for wherever the star is performing and wherever the star can make the most money, and that's also the right thing to do. But on the hindsight, there is no audience for the clubs, which I feel is a little disheartened. But still, it's a great time to be a comic in India. Internationally, I'm like very old school that way. I started watching stand-up because of Seinfeld, Jerry Seinfeld, because he had a show called Seinfeld, and where he would do stand-up. So that's where I learned, okay, what is this new thing? So he is always going to be my, main guy that whom I look up to. Although a lot of people don't actually like Seinfeld now. Like a lot of comics look down upon him. They think he's old school or whatever. But he's the genesis for me. So I'll never go. Like your heroes, he's a hero. So like for me, so you'll never go. And I still think he's a damn funny guy. Like George Carlin was a big influence, and also like a lot of new people. Bo Burnham is somebody I really appreciate a lot. Because initially so the thing is that in comedy there is this perception of like, if you're old you're good. Like that is true. Comedy is actually one of the few mediums where you actually get better with age, and you can, like, an athlete cannot perform as well after 40, but a comic can, because there's more experience. So you kind of look down upon the younger people. Not look down, but you think, oh, it will take you X amount of years to do. Bo Burnham is actually, I think, is an exception, who's like younger than everybody, but he's done something which, like his specials are, both the specials that he's done, that I've seen, cannot be imitated. Like he has his own thing going on, which I love. Indian artists, there's just like way too many to name. What I'll do is that I'll name you the ones that nobody knows, because others all the usual suspects. They're all great online. I love the comics in Kolkata right now. So the city that I am in, there we have amazing like talent. I mean, not every place has talent, but here, because there is less opportunity, talent is like, real talent is just like, giving it all, whatever it can make. Like we go to open mics, there's no one, right? So they perform for themselves only if there is no audience. And even if there is audience, it's like incidental audience. People are already, there for the coffee, and then we are like, no, please listen to us. So they're hungry more, I feel. So there are like 4 comics in my hometown right now, which I find are very exciting. There's Rito Das, Ribu Ganguly, Amrita, and Abhinav Tiwari. I really enjoy these guys, and I enjoy it because the rest of the country don't know them, and they are as good. Okay, so I'm very excited for them to watch it. So if anybody in Calcutta sees this, then I think you guys should go and check out the local scene here. These four guys are amazing. In the next 5 to 6 months, I'm trying to record a bit about my hometown, which is Calcutta, for which we came down here and we shot a show where I did that bit, which was about hometown, which is about my city, 20 minutes 20 seconds long. So yeah, that's the plan, to shoot another video. That's the perennial comic thing to do. That's all our plans are. Make another bit, shoot it, release it. No one wants to put out a video before it's ready, before you are ready to share it with the world. So, but sometimes like you have to, because the market pressure is such that you have to. Otherwise, like, how do you even? It's not even about money. It's about opportunities to perform also. How do you even grow an hour if people don't come to watch you? But what also it does is, on the hindsight, is that if you have a date in mind that I'll release at that time, then you backtrack and work harder. Otherwise, you would just keep going on. So it's a double-edged sword. I will really recommend people to have beards. I know a lot of people think that beard is something which is, people associated with whatever. It's not like a proper guy. Not like it's looked down upon, right? Like have this bigger beard. But I think beards are great, dude, because beards are great equalizers. You know what I mean? Like a beard can make you look, if you're thin, it can make you look fat. If you're fat, it can make you look thin. If you're young, it can make you look old. If you're old, it can make you look young. If you're ugly, it can make you good. If you're good, you can make you ugly. So I think beard is like the solution to all problems, all superficial problems of the world, like personal problems, all the insecurities that you have. So if you can grow a beard, I would say go for it.